Hi guys, and we're continuing our talk about posture today. Right, so yesterday we had a bit of a discussion around why it's important from a different point of view to have proper posture. Now today we're going to get a little bit more into the practical parts of how your body works and why this is important for your body as well. Right, so all movements, remember I'm talking about the upper body now, all of the movement that happens here at your arms is influenced by your posture. Posture, when we talk about posture, we usually first think of the spine, which is running down in the middle, and then it branches out to my shoulders, and everything that happens at my fingertips is influenced by what's happening here, and this is influenced by what's happening here. Now, if I have bad posture, just to give you a practical example, let me rephrase. It's quite easy for me to do this, to raise my hands above my head. But if I have bad posture, if I slouch, I cannot lift my arms. But the moment I look up, instantly I can open up and I can reach. Right, so that's just a very exaggerated and practical demonstration of what I'm talking about. Right, so what we need to have good posture, like I said in the previous video, one of those things is strength. We need strength and mobility. Right, so first today we're going to talk about strength. You need to have strength to maintain a good posture, as in muscular strength. All of the willpower in the world will not be able to keep your posture upright if your muscles are not strong enough. Now, I've had this discussion before with people, and a lot of people say, yeah, but I get a free pass because I'm old, or I'm sick, or I was sick for a long time. That's not an excuse. You need to maintain what you have to the best of your ability. If you think about it this way, Moses was about 80 years old when he encountered the burning bush. Right now, that's basically the beginning of that part of Moses' story, of the Exodus. He was already 80 years old. Now we fast forward a couple of years, and the Israelites are in this massive battle, and God instructs Moses, keep your arms up there. They will win as long as your arms are up there. Yes, Moses did have supports, and after a while he went and he sat down, and to make it easier to keep his arms up, but still he wasn't able to slouch, to lay down. Do you know what incredible strength and endurance that would have taken to maintain this position for a whole day? Because that was what was required of him, and he was over 80. So sorry, age is not an excuse, not on this one. And the younger you are, the earlier you can start, which will make it much more easy for you when you do get older. Right, so we always do the best that we can with what we have. I myself, I have recently come out of a bit of a cancer battle and a bone marrow transplant, which actually had me on my back for months on end, because the only thing I could do was sleep. And I can feel the effect it had on my muscles, on all of the connective tissue in my body, on my posture, how difficult it is for me to maintain a proper posture because I'm not strong yet. But I can change that. I just need to decide. I need to make the time and the commitment to do this. So, practically, let's talk about that. The way your body is made. If we look at the skeleton, joints more specifically, every joint is, in its most basic form, it's just a lever. I don't know if you remember this from high school, from physics, where if you place something like this, like a seesaw, I want to lift something there, then it's much easier if I do it like this than it will be if I do it there. So it's going to require a lot more force to lift at this point if my hinge is closer to where my power is. Right, so we're not going to get into physics now, don't worry. I'm not a teacher, but just so I want you to start thinking differently about the joints in your body. Your joints are levers, and your muscles are the things that provide the power that can actually move the lever. So on our bones, we have attachment points for these muscles. Now, the joint, in other words, the lever, and the attachment point for the muscle has been optimized by design. So what I'm saying is, this system cannot be improved. It has been designed optimally to enable us to move the way we're supposed to do all of the movements we're supposed to. The big responsibility comes in, or your own responsibility comes in, when we talk about the power. How strong am I going to make these muscles? And you don't have to be a power lifter. That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to be strong enough to actually control and use your body the way it was meant to be. If you consider that your head alone weighs about 5 kilos, if you want a bit of a more practical example of that, that's about a bowling ball. If you hold a bowling ball in your hand, that is just the weight of your head. And your head rests on a little bone that's this big. So you've got this big heavy thing resting on a bone that's about this big. And this is a joint, so it moves as well. There's 2 bones on top of each other. They can do this, and the other movement is up and down. Okay, so you really need strength. And the Lord has provided us with, our muscles are amazing, guys. We have different layers of muscles on top of each other, and we need to get all of them strong. And now we don't just need to have power. What I mean by power is to be able to pick something heavy up once. That's power. But we need to have endurance as well, because this 5 kilogram thing can become quite heavy after a while. So not only must I be able to pick it up, I need to be able to keep it there. Right, so we really, really need to get these muscles strong. How do we do that? There's a bunch of exercises. I'm going to start with 2. One of the most important ones, and guys, you're going to laugh because I always come back to this, it's going to be the milkshake muscle, because it is physically impossible to slouch if you are contracting that milkshake muscle. So we're going to do the milkshake muscle contractions. And by this time, I think you should be able to do a couple of repetitions more than when we started. So up your repetitions by about 10, and just to keep it challenging for you. And then the second one, I want you to pay close attention, because this is going to be a spelling test. I call them WYT. This is the name of the exercise, because I'm going to make a W. We're going to do a W with our arms, then a Y. You see there's a Y, and T. Now, while we're doing this, I want you to pull your shoulder blades together and keep them there. So we're going to be W, Y, T. Your arms are going to be a little bit behind your body, because you're going to keep your shoulder blades pulled together. And with that, I need you to keep your head up. So I want to challenge you with this exercise. I want you to try and do 10, and then rest a minute, and then do 2 more sets of 10. Do this every day. You're going to feel it the next day, I promise you. And you will slowly start feeling the strength, the posture improve. It's much easier to keep your shoulders up and open and to keep your head up. Right, so that's from my side, the practical part of strength in posture. And I'm going to catch you again in the next video. And I hope that you remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made.